As soccer takes center stage this summer, Comcast helps bring the experience home to America. As the exclusive Spanish-language home of the tournament in the U.S., Telemundo is set to present its most expansive coverage ever. 700 hours of programming, live on-site presence at all 104 matches. And with multi-view and real-time 4K, Xfinity will deliver the most innovative and immersive sports viewing experience for fans watching on Telemundo, Peacock, Fox, and FS1. Learn more at ComcastCorporation.com.
Running a small business means I wear lots of hats. When I put on my hiring hat, I can count on LinkedIn Hiring Pro to make it easy. LinkedIn Hiring Pro helps manage my hiring workflow, puts my job post in front of a unique network of professionals, and matches me with the best candidates for my business. I can also share my job with my network. No other job site lets me do that. No wonder most small businesses say they'd use LinkedIn Hiring Pro again. Hire right the first time. Post your job for free on LinkedIn today at linkedin.com/quality.
All roads at this 2026 FIFA World Cup have led us here to New York, New Jersey Stadium in the glorious sunshine for the final of this biggest World Cup of all time. Nico Williams saved! Emi Martinez, ninth save of the game, more than any goalkeeper in the history of the World Cup final. And then a huge collision between Enzo Fernandez and Pau Cubarsí. Enzo Fernandez already on a yellow card. There's number 2. His day is done. Porro chance to cross, hooks it in. Williams battling, knocks it down. It's free. It's a goal. It's Ferran Torres. Spain, for the second time in their history, have won the World Cup.
Vamos España! We did it, bro. We did it. I can't believe we did it. Wow. Look.
Unbelievable.
Greg, you know what? No goals. No goals, but 4 shots, 2 on goal.
Bro, take that from him.
Why? I was wearing this all weekend.
I saw.
I washed it.
You're not allowed to. Brew has to get this alone.
Brew, not totally alone.
Yes, totally alone.
We did a whole thing on Friday.
I was with him for 6 weeks.
You were with him for 3 days.
Hey.
You thought they could lose to the United States.
Well, hey, I love the USA. Guilty as charged.
You thought they'd get blown out by France.
Well, we never got to.
Brew, this is your moment. I'm covered in shame.
Our moment.
Here's the deal. This is the hierarchy. Me, covered in shame.
Yes.
Brew, covered in glory.
Yes.
You.
Me, more with Brew.
Just a tiny bit.
That's fine. That's
but
all
you know
I just had the prop. It's a huge win for us. What a day
That
for
is
us.
a sweet jersey.
It's ours.
I kind of want
It's ours.
It's fantastic.
Oh, we get to take one of these home?
Yeah, take them.
I don't know, but if we make it part of the show, I think we can.
I wore one of these to the game.
If it's not part of the show, it's called stealing. If you're like, I'm doing it for social, it's content. Today, Spain wins. Brew was right all along. I was right for a few days. Meanwhile, it's Dax's last day. We bid adieu to Dax McCarty.
Dax.
And he tells us the under-the-radar deciding play of the final. And finally, what do we make of Messi's performance? This was epic television at the end.
Yeah, it was.
But it was a bit of a mixed bag during the game.
It wasn't a mixed bag. It was bad. It was bad performance.
You didn't get
the mixed bag.
You didn't get the ball.
Highs and
Yeah,
lows.
but you didn't get the ball.
Yeah, no, I know. I was there.
So I didn't know.
Not a lot of not only did they not score.
Yeah.
Not really a lot of moments of like, oh my God, I think like here
Not
it comes.
for them. Not for them.
No, for Spain there was a lot.
For Spain there was a
every
lot.
few minutes.
There was
Oh,
a
my goodness.
ton of, if you were rooting against Spain, there was a ton of, oh my God.
Yeah.
Me turning around to the Spanish people behind me that were rooting for Spain.
Can I ask you a quick question? How did Nacho take this loss?
Terribly.
Really?
Terribly.
Oh, Nacho had a little.
Well, no,
More than a little?
He's a professional. He is literally a professional gambler who is from Argentina, and this is his favorite team in the world. So there's that piece of it.
Should have listened to Brew.
Can imagine how much.
All right, we're starting.
I also got the first hand, like the real soccer fan, blame the coach, rant on the ride home. He was so mad at all the managerial mistakes.
We're starting in New York. Spain dominated the full 90, finally broke through 37 seconds into extra time. Torres finds the back of the net and delivered Spain their second World Cup victory. Here's Henry on the champions.
The best team won. They're European champion for a reason. This team, what they do off the ball is what impresses me. You cannot put almost 3 passes together. As soon as you start to do that, they get the ball back. And if you don't have the ball, what did I say at the beginning? You can't score. Those guys it's too much.
Here's the tail of the tape. 20 shots to 2, 12 shots on target to 0. Possession was 65%, and I had a different number there, Brew. I had about 85.
It looked like that.
Passes in opponent's half. A clean 300 more than Argentina, and touches in the opponent's box, 32-8. Brew, you were right all along. Did you ever even have a tiny bit of doubt?
Are you really asking?
Well, that was what we agreed upon.
All tournament long, I was
This is
10.
true. Yep.
10 toes down.
Me too.
When they drew against Cape Verde in the opener, did I worry?
Well,
Did I fret? I said, relax.
Yeah.
We're fine. This is how they start tournaments.
That's
all
true.
right?
We did say that.
When big bad France, your boys showed up, I gave France love.
Yeah.
But I said, they're going down. Bring them on. They are going down. And when yesterday, as Nick would put it, they went against the football gods and the pixie dust and rose petals that fall on Messi when he steps on the pitch. They went against all of that. I said the best team will win, and Spain is the best team. I will give you this, Nick. What this reminded me of, if you'll humor me, imagine Muhammad Ali fighting against Mike Tyson.
Okay.
And Ali is just outboxing him, sticking and moving. Tyson can't hit him. Ali's just jabbing him for 12 rounds.
Yep.
All right? And can't knock him out, but clearly dominating. During the fight, though, no matter, even if it's the 12th, you would be worried like, oh, but if Tyson catches him.
Yep.
Yes.
So I was, especially as it got late, because I think it was advantageous the advantage was for Argentina once it got into extra
That's how
time, right? Like tied at 0.
Like when when I at halftime Spain had dominated and it was 0-0 and I felt great.
Right.
At the second hydration break, Spain had dominated, it was 0-0 and I felt great. Because I said the longer the game goes in this setting, the clutch Argentina stuff, and when it looked like it was going to go to extra time, I was fine with that. The red card changed the math on a lot of what I thought they were going to be able to do. But you and I had the same feeling, I think, which was, in your example, Muhammad Ali is Spain, up 10-1 on the cards. But going into that 12th round, worried that Tyson can knock you out.
Yeah, so that was what I thought of the game. You know what, though? It's better said with a song.
Oh,
wow.
No Spain,
no game,
no game,
no Spain,
no Spain,
no game,
no game.
Destiny
No
belong to Spanish team.
No game.
Brew told you.
No Spain.
Now he brought his soldiers.
No game.
This year Christmas
Navidad.
came early on. They are the world champions, 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 champions.
España.
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 I got it too.
Oh yeah.
My soldiers. That's right.
Oh yeah.
Those guys are great.
Excellent.
You're great. Listen, Brew was right. Danny, who doesn't have a show today, to his credit, he was right.
He did. Yep.
Josh, our soccer expert on the show, who has helped us so much over these last 6 weeks, he was as adamant as he is. He's more measured than a lot of us, but was that he thought they were the best team they could win. And yet I also wonder if it was my fault.
I mean, a little bit. The bucket hat, when you were like, I'm running the bucket hat.
I got to be honest, when you wore that, I was
just
like,
go with like a baseball
done.
cap or
It's
something.
over.
Yeah.
Just the jersey would have been fine.
Guys,
Exactly right.
I really threw myself into this tournament. Mm-hmm. I went to 4 games in 3 different stadiums. Fox, who did an amazing job in this tournament, was not able to, get me any tickets. So I paid for tickets to 4 different stadiums. I also, you guys know my long philosophy of sporting event tickets are free as long as you bet on the right team. It's really put to a test in this tournament, seeing as it's not only that the 4 games I went to sporting the bucket hats, one of which was not recorded on social media, it's not only that those teams went 0 for 4. I never got to celebrate a goal. My teams that I was rooting for, it was a 0-0 draw in Colombia, Portugal, which I guess was okay.
Yeah.
A 2-0 loss for Brazil against Norway, a 2-0 loss for Morocco against France, and a 1-0 loss for the highest scoring team in the tournament against Spain, and they didn't have a shot on goal the whole game.
He was getting fired up for the corner kick late in the game.
Yes.
Oh, we got it.
We got a corner. We got the corner. And so if I am going to, as part of the reason I thought Spain could win, be talking about the mysticism of the sports gods, I guess I have to admit there is a possibility of a curse involving me in attendance in those ridiculous hats that I buy off the street corners in Harlem. But on a more serious level, Spain was the best team. And going into the game, and I did even say this last week, I thought Spain was better than Argentina. I just didn't think it would matter. I thought that it would be very close and late Argentina would find some magic, and Spain did not allow them to find the magic. And in large part, that is because Rodri did what he did in this game all tournament long, which was he's the most accurate passer you'll ever see. He controls possession, and now he is on this list. Here are the people who have won a World Cup, won a Champions League, won a Ballon d'Or, and won the Golden Ball.
Pretty good.
It's 4 guys. If we remove Golden Ball, that list, it becomes like 7 guys. That it is, or 11 guys.
11.
It is a remarkable career he already has had. And now for Spain, Brew, they are, I don't want to say out of nowhere, but undeniably the team of European football of this century. And it's not even close. If you look at what they have done in the 2000s compared to every other European nation, they now have 2 World Cups. France, Italy, and Germany all have 1. They've won the Euros 3 times. No one else has won it multiple. So they have 5 international trophies. France and Italy are both tied this century with 2. 1 Euros, 1 World Cup. So they are, in 2010, they became the newest team to ever win this tournament. And now all of a sudden, they are the most decorated team this century of Europe, which is Europe and South America, the 2 kind of homes of the game. And it was a remarkable.
And the future's bright.
Right. It was a remarkably dominant performance. I had pretty decent seats in the stadium, and it just felt like Spain never didn't have the ball. And it felt like Argentina never was actually threatening. We kept waiting for Messi to get the ball in space, and they just wouldn't let him get the ball in space.
Spain's first country to have both the men's and women's World Cup, and the next men's World Cup will have part of it in Spain. So as for Messi, just 15 touches in the first half, 54 overall. Spain neutralizes the world's greatest player. Here's Carly Lloyd on his performance.
We've seen him kind of, pick and choose his moments, save his energy, wait till the opponents get a little bit tired and start to drift out wide. But in the last and final game, I would have liked to have seen a bit more running from him in those, even the last 10, 15 minutes. And we just didn't see that. And I think that's a little bit disappointing.
It's been an interesting World Cup for Messi. He starts off by scoring all the goals for a while, 6 goals, no assists, and he had 63 touches. Then in the knockout stage, he had 2 goals but 4 assists and way more touches. And then the final, no goals, no assists, and only 54 touches. We took out the Jordan game where he came on as a sub. They were resting. Nick, were you disappointed in Messi and Argentina's performance?
Far more disappointed in Argentina than I was in Messi. I think Messi obviously didn't play well. Nobody in the Argentina attacking third played well. I thought their goalie was unbelievable in this game. And I thought the much maligned Argentinian defense actually did pretty well in this game. But it was very surprising and disappointing to me that they seemed to have the approach of Spain's so much better than us, we can't risk going after it. And they did, even though they were down a man, once Spain got the lead, Argentina started creating chances. And so down a man against the best defense in the world, in the final 10 minutes, they got all of these chances that they got in the game happen. And we can show you the tape of it. Like, listen, Messi had a shot that hit a guy in the face. I don't know where it would have gone. But the other two are good chances. Like this one here is, man, that's a goal if it's not an amazing play by Kubarsi. Like that is a goal. That was, this is the same play on a loop. But you'll see the other ones, the bouncing ball that I think of Lautaro, this one here, this is a minute later. I mean, that's another, that's an opportunity. I'm not saying that that's definitely a goal, but my point is they finally actually started to push guys forward. There's the Messi one where it hits the guy in the face. That's one of their two shots. I felt like they could have done more of this. And especially if they were doing it down a man and when they had already subbed on defenders. That was the other thing about once they got the red card, they went to defensive substitutions, understandably, but it made it so when Spain scored, like they had no more levers to pull. So, it really was disappointing that they seemed to take the approach that we have seen teams take, that I think Morocco took against France, that obviously Paraguay took against France, that the Netherlands took against Morocco, and that's what really upset, Alexi and Zlatan in that game when they did it. It's like, it's not a huge mismatch. Don't play so scared to where you're just trying to get to penalty kicks. But it really did seem like Argentina was just trying to get to penalty kicks, and that was disappointing to me.
Yeah, I think a lot of it, I will give Spain a lot of credit just for controlling the possession and Rodri and all that stuff. So I think some of it, that was a huge part of it, is that Spain just couldn't get the ball to Messi. But to your point, Nick, it did seem, as they picked it up late, it did almost seem like, which can make sense in their minds with the way they have been coming back, let's just play this even, and then late we'll get a spark. And maybe they're thinking Messi will kind of come to life. I wonder if Messi, I agree with Carly Lloyd. She said he could have been running more. It's your last game. I wonder if he got a little bit worn down throughout the tournament because there's an extra game. I know he sat out most of the game against Jordan, but still playing 7.5 games at 39 years old. And he did not score a goal. I know he was great in the last game with the 2 assists against England, but still, he did not score a goal in his last 3 games. So maybe he did get a little worn down, and he was just a non-factor. I do think he is at what I'll say like the LeBron, we talk about LeBron's stage of his career, where LeBron and Messi, they can't hurt their legacies. You know what I mean? They can only add to it. They can do some things you don't expect and maybe add to their legacy. But you can't, there's nothing Messi can do where you're going to knock him. Now, he wasn't good. And you say, well, at 39, it's like when you're great, it's like, wow, he's still doing that at 39. But when you're bad, it's like he's 39.
But what's disappointing, Brew, is he did not, when we were talking about how well he was playing up until this game, it was not for a 39-year-old. It was for everyone in the tournament.
Right, it was
You know what I mean? He had been, in my opinion, we're going to talk more about this later, very definitively the best player in this tournament headed into the final. And if you remove legacy, if you remove age, just his overall contribution to his team, I thought was greater than everyone else's. And so to see him not be able to make an impact, it was disappointing. I also, some of the factors leading into the game that maybe I should have incorporated more into my own analysis. We are now at 14 of 15 of in the Men's World Cup, Women's World Cup, and the Under-21 World Cup that the winner was the team with more time off between the semifinal and the final. Also, going into this one, Spain had played 6 of their 7 games going into it indoors and in climate-controlled arenas. I thought that would work in Argentina's favor, that these elements, because it was scorching out there, would affect Spain more. It might have been they had more in the tank, because they hadn't been dealing with it. And it also might simply have been no one could score on them the whole tournament, and so no one was going to.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I agree with that. I don't think if they had more energy, they would just chased more.
No, I'm saying
Spain never trailed the entire tournament. Messi's performance reminded me of a game where you see a great wide receiver just not getting the ball. It's
That's a good example.
And it's just I bet if he got the ball, he could do something with it, but there's too much pressure and you're not. It's not happening for you. I felt bad. As a recent Spain fan, I felt bad for you. I felt like you could have come over to my side. We all could have been unified.
Well, can I ask, but Brew, awesome. To Brew's point from before, and this is why maybe the answer is Argentina's strategy that disappointed, us. Maybe it's actually that was the right one. Because Spain
kept it close.
And without the red card, maybe they do get to PKs. They have the best keeper in the world. They've won a World Cup on penalty kicks. I know Messi's missed some this tournament. Maybe that was the best approach. And when we have seen going into the game, we talked about how vulnerable Argentina's defense had been against inferior opponents to Spain. Maybe had they done what I was saying, Spain would have really opened it up. Yep. Lionel Scaloni has won everything since he's been there, so I'm not going to second guess him. But just from a viewer, it was disappointing that we didn't see. I almost wish Spain had scored in the first 5 minutes, and what that would have done. You know what I mean? If Spain scored early. Yeah. And Argentina's now we just got to go. I'm curious how differently the game plays.
Nice moment after the game with Messi and Yamal, a bookend of the baby picture. Yamal had 4 shots in the game, was a consistent threat for Spain. He brings home his first World Cup trophy at the age of 19. The comparison between Yamal and Messi at major tournaments. In 4 tournaments, Messi has 3 titles, 1 World Cup and 2 Copa Americas. Yamal has the Euros and this World Cup. 21 wins for Messi, 14-1 draw for Yamal. Do you feel like the torch has been passed here, bro?
No. I think Yamal played well. He certainly was a huge contributor to them winning this World Cup. But I don't think he played well enough to take the torch. He wasn't, the best player in the tournament. Rodri got the golden ball. He didn't even, the 19-year-old Cabarsi got the best young player at 19 years old, his teammate. Yeah. So, again, Yamal didn't play poorly. And some of it may, you hear people talking about he still looks injured. I don't know if that's the case. But maybe even just not having played leading up to the World Cup may have affected him. So there's no shame in what he did. Obviously, they won, and he was a big factor, but not well enough to take the torch. That said, I do think there was a passing of the torch. I think it was from Messi to Mbappé. I think Mbappé leaves this tournament as being viewed as, Messi still, as long as he's there, the face is like, but Mbappe is the next guy up that everybody's expecting. He now becomes the only guy he just won the Golden Boot, so the only guy ever to win 2. He passed Messi and now is the all-time leader in World Cup goals with 22 in 22 games. Yes. And he's only played in 3 compared to Messi's 6 World Cups. So I actually think the torch was passed, but it was Mbappe that took it rather than Yamal.
So you and I are on a very similar page on this. I want to say this about Lamine Yamal. If we take every player in history, their resumes before they turn 20, and stack them up against each other, he can go eye to eye with any player. You know what I mean? And so, like, it is in no way is this denigrating what he has already accomplished as a teenager and the player I think he'll be. He has been unbelievable in La Liga, and his La Liga team, Barcelona, has prevented Mbappe's La Liga team, Real Madrid, from winning the La Liga title. While he hasn't won a Champions League, he has been unbelievable in those Champions League games, so there is no idea of like, oh, in the big moments he doesn't play well. That's not it at all. But I think there is we want to make it as clean as if 40-year-old Jordan was still playing when 18-year-old LeBron came in the league and they played. As that. But even if that were the case, if like there was 28-year-old Shaquille O'Neal being like, "Hey, I'm right here," and so I think that if Yamal one day gets the torch, so to speak, you mentioned Mbappe. I also think two other guys who are straddling Mbappe in age, one older, one younger, might have something to say about it. They both might be younger. I think Erling Haaland is like, "Hey guys, I might be the best goal scorer in the world," and I think Jude Bellingham comes out and says, I might end up being the greatest player in the history of England, and we'll see.
7 goals.
Right, 7. And so I just don't. I think Yamal is on the very short list of guys who I could see being in that, the Ronaldo, Messi conversation at the end of their careers. But I don't look at it, KW, do you disagree? Like, I don't look at it as he now becomes the preeminent number one player in the sport or face of the sport. I don't look at it.
Yeah, I wonder how much of it is affected by our lack of, deep knowledge about La Liga and how much that weighs in, Messi in Barcelona and that rich history versus sort of we're taking it super macro.
Yep.
Well, I do think the next World Cup in 4 years, it's very possible Yamal enters that. Depending on what happens in the next 4 years, he could enter that as the guy. There's no question. But right now, it's got to be Mbappe.
I think he's probably the favorite to enter. Right now, if there was betting odds on who's going to be the best player in the world in 4 years, he's probably the favorite.
I agree with that.
Yeah, and Spain is favored to win the World Cup again. What went wrong for Argentina? That's next with Dax McCarty. Dax's last day on the show. It's next on FS1 on the Fox Sports Radio on Sirius XM.
Honey, what are you listening to?
Mom!
Your teen might not share everything with you, but teens share everything with each other. And certain everyday behaviors, like sharing food, drinks, or kisses, could mean sharing bacteria that can cause meningococcal disease, known as meningitis. Although meningitis is uncommon, about 1 in 10 who develop it will die. Ask your teen's doctor about missing meningitis vaccinations. Learn more at meningitis.com. Vaccination may not protect all recipients. Sponsored by GSK.
Welcome back to the show. Argentina came into the final as one of the most electric offenses in the entire World Cup. Then they didn't take a shot for 117 minutes. That's as long as a full Big Lebowski. I looked up movies that are 117 minutes long. Also Citizen Kane. According to Opta, out of 900 World Cup matches since 1966, only 3 teams attempted 0 shots in regular time. Dax, what went wrong for Argentina?
Well, first of all, guys, great to see you.
Well, great to see you.
Last day.
Me too.
This is a story of Spain being so superior in every facet of the game. And the soccer gods, Brew, they decided that justice would be preserved and justice will prevail in this game because Argentina were devoid of any soccer or footballing ideas to try to make the game competitive. And so they reverted back to some tactics we've seen from them in the past. They wanted their game plan, the way they wanted the game to look, chippy, grind, they wanted to suffer, and they wanted to bring Spain into that suffering with them. And it worked for a large majority of the game. Spain was excellent, they dominated, but by and large, my biggest concern going into this game with Spain was the fact that if they were going to play against a team like Argentina, that they were going to struggle to create, let's call them gilt-edged chances, like really great chances where you really have to test the keeper. I mean, Emi Martinez was fantastic, but it was pretty routine saves that I would expect him to make. And when you are Argentina and when you live on the edge of physicality and aggression, and you tiptoe that line, when it doesn't go your way, then you can cross that line into petulance, cynicism, making the game extremely ugly, which is what they did. That is where the game delved into, and it almost worked, guys. Like, I was sitting there along, like with Nick, and because I picked Argentina to win in penalties, and I was thinking, I really hope Spain wins this game. They are fully deserving to win this game. I hope soccer comes out on top and Spain wins this game. But before they scored, I was thinking if this game goes to penalty kicks, Argentina has it right where they want it, and Argentina will definitely win this game. And so Spain had to have a moment of magic. They had to have a moment of creativity. They had to have a moment of composure in the box to get over the line. But once they scored, I'm a neutral. I picked Argentina to win, but I'm not Argentinian, and unless you were supporting Argentina, I think everyone else in the world watching that game was really happy with the final result.
I thought, myself watching it, I felt like Spain just dominated and kept Argentina from mounting any type of attack.
It suffocated them.
I want to ask you, though, because I've heard other commentators say Argentina just chose not that they could have done a ton of it, but they really chose not to try to open the game up. Do you feel like they did indeed not they could have done more to attack? And secondly, to the point you just made, if Argentina had won, I know you obviously said the best thing for soccer was that Spain, which was clearly the best team, won. Expound on that, what you mean at the second point.
It means that there are moments in our sport where you don't always get what you deserve. And because the margins are so thin in our game, and because goals typically are so hard to come by, teams that bring the game into chaos and make it look really cynical and make it look like a mess and put a lot of pressure on the referee, and they use their physicality to level out the playing field, sometimes that gets rewarded with the final result. Sometimes that is how you have to beat teams that are significantly better than you. I don't blame Argentina for playing the way that they did up till maybe the red card, because that's the only way they could have competed with this Spanish national team. They didn't have enough quality in midfield. Their backline was suspect for most of the tournament, and they relied far too much on Lionel Messi magic in the final third. And it almost worked. So to your point, Brew, and to your question, I think if they would have been more aggressive, if they would have attacked more, I think Spain wins that game by multiple goals. And I don't even think it's a question.
I think it would have worked if not for that moment we just showed.
The red card.
Yeah.
It would have worked. I agree with you 100%. That game is destined for penalty kicks if Enzo doesn't get it right.
And again, and I'm not saying that to justify the fact that I picked Argentina. It was very clear, whether you were at the game or at home watching, Spain was markedly better. Spain had 100 more chances. I mean, your point about they didn't take a shot. They couldn't get a shot in regulation is remarkable. But I also think, and this is why, and we're going to talk more about him later, if it got lost in the chaos of how many yellow cards Argentina got, Enzo got his first one for yelling at the ref.
Yeah.
He didn't get his first one for a hard foul, which makes that all the more devastating, if you ask me. That he got a totally unnecessary first yellow, and then the second yellow ends up coming. I mean, it ends up coming because of the play that we saw there. It's just, I think Argentina had figured out a way to prevent Spain from getting any great chances. Now, the one, but on that is Nico Williams' addition late might have, you know what I mean?
A game changer.
Even if Argentina had the 11 men, might have been different. But here's the other reason that red card to me, Dax, and I want to ask you about this as well, was so devastating. Let's say, the red card doesn't happen, but Argentina still allows that goal. I think that's when, instead of they'd used all their subs because they had to go to an extra defender because they were down a man, Lautaro Martinez was one of the best strikers in the world, never played in the game. It feels to me like had they gone down and they still have the sub available, they go to him,
Sure.
and they try to create something there. He's the guy who scored. Did he score?
He scored against England.
The header.
Winner.
He scored the winner against England.
He did.
And that bouncing ball that gets fired over the goal feels to me, feels to me like, man, he might be able to score that. So I think what went wrong is they were afraid that Spain was that much better than them, so they played cautiously. But also, I think it could have just been not a stolen, but a game that the worst team won if not for that red card.
100%. And to that point, Scaloni, 5 of his 6 substitutions were defensive-minded players. Because he had no choice.
Yeah.
But just quickly to the red card. They had 5 yellows this game and could have had more. So
100%.
So the idea that I just pushed back a little bit on, like, without the red card, like they were constantly flirting with reds. Like that, the game plan puts you on.
They were constantly flirting with yellows.
Well, he got 2 yellows.
No, I understand, but my point is his first one wasn't for some crazy tackle. His first one was for yelling at the ref, and that's what was disappointing to me.
But it was a yellow card.
Yes, no.
Typically, like referees, like they give you a certain amount of leeway, but once you start to clap them and be sarcastic with them and get in their face and say certain things, like at a certain point, a referee just has enough. And by the way, this ref, he did a great job managing the game in the second half, but in the first half, he could have managed it a little better. Argentina deserved a couple of yellow cards in more, for me, way more cynical fouls. But no one can argue with the red card for Enzo.
No, Galaxy Brain, if they got a few more yellows earlier, the game might have been a little bit prettier.
Sure.
Like the early yellow cards may have helped Argentina.
Absolutely.
Get a yellow on, several tackles on Yamal, and maybe like, all right, let's change tactics. On the winning side, here's recently retired from studio shows Zlatan on Spain's performance.
Football won today. The way they play football, the way they played in this tournament. When you watch football, this is what you want to see. Today we had Argentina that had 0 shots on the goal. 0 shots. Best defense in the tournament, Spain. And the right team won.
Will you remember this Spanish team?
The collective is better than individual talent. That is how I will remember this Spanish team. Rodri was their best player in the tournament. He won the Golden Ball. I think you can make an argument that there were 7 or 8 different players for Spain that had an argument at different times for being their best player throughout the tournament. You could make an argument for any one of their back line. Their fullbacks were excellent. The gold standard of fullbacks throughout the entire tournament. Their entire midfield was spectacular. Their front line, I mean, obviously with Lamine, we'll talk about him a little bit later. He didn't hit the heights that you would hope he hit, but Oyarzabal scored 5 goals. I think that's tied for a Spanish record in a major tournament. So you have so many different aspects of this team that are so fun to watch. They're so impressive in every way. I think it's cultural. I think that starting with the technical proficiency that they force you to have at every single level, starting from when you are young, that's the baseline from which they have all their success, is technical excellence, technical quality. And then, of course, it's the defending, but the defenders and the goalkeeper can't just get the credit because it is excellent coaching at every level, and it's the collective will always beat the individual talent. And that is why this Spanish team should be remembered for one of the best World Cup teams of all time. They set the record for least goals conceded in an entire tournament with an extra game, which is one of the most, I think, impressive statistics that you can take away from this World Cup. It was complete dominance, complete control, and I find it hard to believe that you are going to see a team that is more dedicated collectively to defending and to possession than this Spanish national team. It was a phenomenal performance.
Yeah, to me, a few things. One, they did, obviously all these guys are incredibly skilled, but their skills stood out. Like their passing, their dribbling, like the way they could just dominate possession, they looked far more skilled to me than most of the teams they faced. And France, all of these teams. That's number one. Obviously, I think they go down as the best defensive team in World Cup history. You mentioned the 1 goal. They're the only team never get to the final and give up 1 goal, I believe.
They never trailed.
Never trailed, incredible. Which is nuts. And they did it, obviously, when you get to the championship rounds, you are playing great competition. Their last 4 games, though, were against top 10 teams in the world. They clean cheated or shut out two of the top 3 teams in the world, Argentina and France, obviously with legendary goal scorers on each team, and then Portugal, which is number 5 in the world. So 3 of their shutouts came against top 5 teams. And then here's the last thing. This may not have even been the best version of them.
That's a good take.
Because Yamal was probably to some degree bothered, by his hamstring. And then Nico Williams, who was huge in the championship game when he finally got in, played sparingly. So if he's healthy and Yamal's 100%, maybe they have a little more cushion in some of these games.
And to your point, Brew, in theory, to get to a World Cup final, you always have to go through great teams. But, people fairly looked at, and they earned their path, and then other teams didn't take care of business. But like Argentina's path to the final, they didn't have the murderer's row of teams that Spain did, and Spain still dominated those teams defensively. I said before the game, and so I stand by it from after the game, I didn't think they dominated every game they played because I thought offensively they struggled a lot in some of those games. The Portugal game most notably stands out where it's 0-0 in the 92nd minute, and they needed a late stoppage time winner for that. But they strangled the life out of everyone they played. And now, so for me, in my, relatively, small sample size of World Cups I've watched in my lifetime, they are the best defensive team that I have seen. I think most real World Cup historians would say they're like in line with, I think it's the 94 Brazil team was unbelievable defensively, plus the great, historically great scores they had as one of, if not the greatest defense ever. But here's the other thing, KW. They have a chance for the international trophy three-peat, which has only been done by 2 teams ever. Spain in 08, 10, and 12, Euros, World Cup, Euros. Argentina in 21, I guess 24, 25, or 23, 25, whatever it was. Right. They went Copa, or 21, 22, 24. They went Copa, World Cup, Copa. That's it. Yeah. No other European or South American team has ever won their continental trophy along with their World Cup for 3 in a row. They just won the last Euros. You know what I mean? Now they have this World Cup. To your point, Brew, there's not a lot of guys on this team that you're like, oh, yeah, but in 2 years, they're not going to be around anymore. A lot
of guys in their prime.
And so they are one of the hosts of the next World Cup. They're really well positioned.
14 goals to 1 conceded. They outshoot their opponents 140 to 46.
I wrote a little song to remind you, Choice Hotels get you more of the experiences you value. The Cambria Hotel's got it all. A rooftop bar, have a ball. Cocktails up here feel just right. Is Cambria amazing? All right. Bring a date, your team, or even your mom. Book direct at choicehotels.com. See you on the roof.
Third place game was a barn burner in what Dax accurately described as a tactics-free affair. England wins 6-4. Mbappé wins the Golden Boot, is now the all-time World Cup goals leader after netting 2 goals. Here's the final standings. Mbappé at 10, Messi at 8, Jude jumps up to 7, Haaland's at 7, he's back in Norway. Harry Kane's at 6, and Dembele's at 6. Brew, were you okay with Mbappé getting the Golden Boot in a 6-4 game?
Yes. Because here's the thing. That's the history of the game. 4 guys won the Golden Ball or Golden Boot when the deciding goals were in this game. 2010, Thomas Müller from Germany. I don't have to name them all, but Croatia, 98. Guy from Italy in 1990 and then back to 1938. So,
Fontaine.
I mean, I would get it wasn't Fontaine.
No,
Fontaine had 4,
but he already had. He was already way
going to win anyway.
Used Fontaine is really his family should be sending us royalty checks in this tournament.
If they made a rule that this game is not going to count anymore toward the Golden Boot, I wouldn't have a problem with it because clearly it's on a whole different level than the other games. But it's the history of the game, and it has impacted the Golden Boot many times before. So I was fine with it. And I'll throw this in, and Messi was fantastic, obviously, for all but the last game of the tournament. But he did not score in the last 3 games as far as a goal. So he had some assists, but did not score a goal in the last 3 games. So I'm good with Mbappe winning this.
You make some excellent points, Brew. I can't stand it, hate it, don't like it. I think a healthy compromise, because you are correct about the historical significance of it. I think it would feel obviously ridiculous at this point in time to just be like, all right, no goals count in the third place game. Right. How about a compromise? Oh. How about that? How about an asterisk? Right near every player who won it. Yes. How about every player who won it in the third place game? You get just like a little asterisk right by your name, and you say, okay, you were the best player in the exhibition game of the World Cup. Okay, how about that? Because that's what that was. That was an all-star game. That was defense optional. It was highly entertaining.
It was awesome.
It was amazing.
A lot of Americans loved it.
I'm sure you love it. That's great. There are levels to this.
But here's what I'll say: the Golden Ball is kind of even though we talked more about the Golden Boot.
Yeah.
But the Golden Ball has all the context. You're not going to win the Golden Ball based on anything like this. You know what I mean? So,
are you sure? I mean, I don't know, man. It's a real game in the World Cup, isn't it, Brew?
Yeah, I mean, because people have won
it.
That's
maybe if you play in it, but that can't be the deciding.
No, it
game.
would be. It would have to be.
The boot is just straight stats.
Yes. I went into this game saying it obviously shouldn't count for the Golden Boot.
Yeah.
And then I watched the game, and I was really glad that it did.
Why?
Because I wanted the Stars to play.
Oh, okay.
Because I do. And by the way, it turns out this is my own ignorance. I was like, they should just do bronze medals. They did get bronze medals.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
This was the first year, right?
Was it? That was the first year.
That's news to me.
Okay, yeah.
They called it the bronze game.
Sports Media Ombudsman making changes to get back to the World Cup again. But I didn't like France's approach in the first half, where it just felt like they didn't care at all.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And
they didn't.
Where they didn't. And I thought it was kind of disrespectul to Didier Deschamps in his final game. I didn't love it. And England was, going out there and trying to win, and also trying to show Thomas Tuchel, like, hey, we can score now. Sacco didn't even play.
Why didn't you play me in the game that meant anything?
Why didn't
Look
you
at this
play me?
hat trick I found.
And so I think giving guys reasons to care about it, where it is now, that is England's best World Cup finish ever. They have made, they've made
third.
I'm sorry, the best World Cup finish they have had since they won it. Since in the last 6 years, obviously not ever. My point is, they've made the semis before and then lost this game. And so I want this. I do like that this game exists in a similar way the bronze medal game exists in hockey or in Olympic soccer. Mm-hmm. So if that's going to be the case, and if it's going to count for Mbappe's all-time World Cup career, then I think it has to count for this World Cup. You know what I mean? Like going into it, I didn't like it. I left it saying because I don't know. Are we sure Mbappe would have played? If he couldn't win the Golden Boot, would he have played? I don't know.
Who was the #1 winner from the World Cup? We discuss next.
What's that, bud? The Lincoln Summer Sales Event is on now with exclusive offers? Oh, so you want to feel the wind pouring through the available open panoramic vista roof on a road trip? And spend the afternoon beachside hanging out on the back of the spacious Lincoln Splitgate? Okay, I'll schedule a Lincoln test drive today, right before your vet appointment. Visit your local Lincoln retailer or learn more at Lincoln.com.
Live from New York, it's a show that is out on bucket hats.
I damaged the brand. I've got to tell you, if you're
I think they're being discontinued.
If you're a bucket hat proprietor, you can have issue with me.
Honestly, a bucket hat hates to see you come.
Yeah. It's really.
I can't believe you didn't bring your bucket hats. I should have told you earlier.
I was going to say, get a nice little bonfire.
Today, did Messi deserve the Golden Ball? Roger wins it. Did Messi deserve it? Meanwhile, are we ready to talk about a Spain repeat in 2030. They will be one of the host countries. That's always
We
good.
usually say it's a little early to do that topic the day after the Super Bowl.
Nope.
But at least the next Super Bowl is 1 year away.
4 years.
4 years. 4 years
Lot could
away.
happen.
We're back to New York where
Need to be an
Spain
oracle.
shut the door on what had been a potent Argentina offense. No shots in regulation. Late attack was shut down. Here was Argentina's manager, Scaloni, after the game.
Estar en el lugar que estoy es el lugar soñado para todos. Este lugar es maravilloso, maravilloso. Es un lugar soñado que difícilmente se vuelve a formar y me duele el alma. Lo siento.
Maybe that's why the players didn't talk.
Wow.
Like that. I mean, none of these guys ever lost a game like this. I mean, he is obviously Messi has, but
Sure.
they haven't lost since Scaloni's been there.
Scaloni.
Yeah. Under Scaloni, Scaloni's never lost in a tournament, and so plus probably Messi's last game. Yikes. Sorry. Go ahead. Your question. Did you want to go?
No, I'm gonna. Remember, I have my little sign that says "Be kind."
Nice.
Yeah, I'll wait till it goes around and see if my blood stops boiling.
No, go ahead. Just go.
No, I want you to go first.
Okay.
Did you think you were going to get one more chapter of Messi magic?
Absolutely. And at no point in the game did I not think I was going to. Like even when they were down a man, I'm like, well, this is going to make it even more special. And then when Spain scored, it almost felt like, well, that has to happen. All of these games, it has been in response to the opposition goal that Argentina has opened it up. And then they did open it up. And then as soon as we got the Messi shot off the guy's face, I was like, right at that moment, I'm like, okay, yeah, it's going to happen. And honestly, as poorly as they played in the attack throughout the game, these next two plays you're going to see all happened after that shot that Messi took. And they were all great scoring chances.
Down a man.
Down a man,
which is even more
This
fascinating.
right here, Cabarsi saves them. That's going to be an easy goal, and you're going to penalties.
The fact that doesn't go in as an own goal is, I'm
Well,
telling
that's
you
the
right
other
now,
thing.
Brew, I'm telling you right now, you don't believe in magic fairy dust. The fact that doesn't go in, there's something there.
No, that's the other thing is even Cabarsi hitting it is not necessarily good for Spain. Because so often you see
that ends up
it's similar to how the U.S. scored its first goal of the tournament was something like that.
Multiple goals.
Right.
2 own goals.
And then this other one that you're going to see, where again off a Messi corner, it gets in the. Yeah. So and again, would that have been Messi's magical moment? I don't know. He hits the corner.
He's
He wouldn't
been
have
great
got
with
the
the
assist.
corners.
But yeah, I did. And credit to Spain for giving him so few bites at the apple. He just never had the ball in space. There was only a couple times it seemed like he was able to get it to a dangerous area. I want to be fair with the evaluation in that I don't think he played great, and he's the greatest player ever and was, to me, the best player in the tournament. So he deserves to be judged on that standard. But also, Spain did not give him the opportunity to be great because he was just never had the ball. And so, but yes, I did. I was sitting there. I never lost hope. And I did think because the keeper was playing so well for Argentina that if they get to penalties, usually penalties are like a coin flip, essentially. I thought they would be a significant favorite in penalties, but they couldn't get there.
The only fair assessment is that Spain was so good, so dominant, so organized, so compact, that they really just didn't allow Messi to have any of those really special, magical moments. And I'm telling you right now, if it wasn't for Mikel Merino's face, I can't be sure and I can't guarantee this, but that ball for me seemed like it was destined to be on frame. Now, whether Simone makes the save or not is anyone's guess, but that was the moment right there for Messi. Bouncing ball at the top of the box, and he absolutely smashes it, and it's curling, it's coming down.
But it was easily blocked.
Yeah, maybe, but I don't know.
I went what, 5 yards? I'm just not viewing these. I don't know. I feel like some of this
you're right.
analysis
Like,
is like, oh, my lottery ticket. I had 15, it says 14, I was this close. Like, we weren't close.
That is the credit to Spain. That I'm talking about a moment that it's not even a shot on target, and that is the moment that I expected Messi to make the difference. And so, yes, I absolutely agree with Nick. I expected another moment of Messi magic. I didn't care that they were horrific throughout the entire game until the last 5-10 minutes. And honestly, the fact that Messi was so quiet, that's the credit to Spain. Yeah. The fact that he was so quiet is also an indictment on the rest of the Argentinian national team, specifically their midfield, which didn't look great throughout the entire tournament and were consistently saved by his magic. And you go back to Spanish national team was flawless in their execution defensively and the way that they just suffocated Argentina at every single moment. And yet, I bet you we were all still watching the game feeling the exact same thing. Like, there is a moment here for Argentina where they could potentially score and get back in this game even though they don't deserve it. Mm-hmm. So, yes, I thought there was going to be another moment.
Yeah, I mean, I was frightened until Spain scored. And even then, obviously, you thought maybe Messi will tie it or something. But I got, Messi just wasn't even getting the ball. He wasn't really a factor. So that made me feel better. But I still was like, man, he could do something.
He's done it throughout the whole knockout stage.
And whether it was, and even the corners, I mean, he's been great at that. So I was even thinking, okay, maybe he'll get an assist or something like that. But, I was, like I said earlier, it was like a Mike Tyson fight where you just know I was like, he might only get one shot at goal, but it might go in.
Well, Dax is saying he did literally only get one shot at goal, and Dax saying he thinks it
Marino's face, I think that saved what could have been a highlight reel moment for Messi.
Can I elaborate on your Mike Tyson analogy? Did Mike Tyson fight Jake Paul or Logan Paul? I'm sorry, I'm getting my Pauls.
No way to
Jake Paul.
Jake Paul. That's more of what it reminded me of. Not Muhammad Ali Tyson, which never happened, but a guy who was obviously overmatched, but
not throwing punches.
Not throwing punches, but maybe if you can come with just one lucky flurry, something could happen. But it feels like this matchup is so lopsided. I don't know. I feel like we're almost giving Argentina too much credit. They committed the second most fouls in any World Cup game, not a World Cup final. 25 fouls is the most in a World Cup game since they did it 26 finals against France. They had no shots on goal for 90 minutes. They had their first shot in minute 117. It wasn't close.
No, I don't think anybody's saying. Is anybody saying it was close? I mean, clearly Spain was just dominant.
Yeah, but this is where
it really gets back to me responding to like the manager crying. And you had a fight, and you fought Spain after the game. So you had the most fouls, no shots, and fought
you said the most fouls since when?
2022 when they
won the World Cup.
Yeah.
So that's how they play, bro.
That's their.
But that's how they played against France. No, that's not what we saw. How them playing the whole World Cup.
I think it's part of their DNA.
No, that 100%. If
they were playing like a ton of fouls. I didn't do the research.
No, I mean I think what Argentina kind of is known for is
tiptoeing the line.
Yeah, what in other sports would be called like athletic, like thuggery, like they
dark arts.
Yeah,
this is what we're gonna call it.
They had been comped very often when people try and do cross sports comps to OKC's approach, which is if we foul every time, the refs aren't going to stop the game. So I don't think that's rare for them. So that's where it's one of the reasons some people don't like the team.
Yeah.
And it's also why they think some of those guys are on there almost as like Messi enforcers. You know what I mean? Like and it's because they are known for if they get fouled, they surround the ref. Like as a team, like trying to intimidate the ref. That 100%. Is who their team has been. That's why I was saying I think there is one of the things I have learned, we've all learned, in the last 6 weeks, one of the things I've learned about what type of soccer you like is you really like what we would call like a finesse team in soccer. You want it to be open, skill You know what I mean? Like, beautiful. And it seems, and
like I don't like a clear, like I would have yellows for clear path fouls all the time.
Yes, exactly right. And so, and
just grab it. Oh, got you. I'm like,
I really,
because you know what those are? They're cynical.
Right, and I'm really. I hope this doesn't sound like I'm saying like this is a judgment thing.
Soft.
No, I'm not calling you personally soft. But like there are certain teams who what they want to do is play super physical and kind of get down in the muck, and I just think you don't respect that as much as the way some of these other teams are playing. It's not a bad thing. I just think that's.
I also don't like fighting the winning team.
Well, that at the end of the game that was a bad.
Fighting the winning team, I don't.
Why did you care about the manager crying? He was sad. He's never lost. Messi's gone now. Go on,
I think it's hard to like when you're
not a big fan of emotions.
No, I'm a huge fan of emotions,
well, there you go.
but I have a hard time balancing the saccharine nature of crying after the game with fighting the winning team and having the most fouls in the World Cup game since the previous champion. I think it's a little bit strange. Spain wins an electric World Cup. Simone wins the Golden Glove. Rodri with the Golden Ball. Kubarsi wins FIFA Young Player Award. Spain closes the tournament after 104 thrilling games. Who was the number one winner of the whole thing? Could be a theory.
Really?
Yeah, it could be.
So I have a lot of runners-ups.
Okay, good.
One of the runner-ups, Zlatan and Thierry Henry.
Great call.
Alexi. Well, but Alexi we knew. Like
gotcha.
Alexi, you know what I mean? So I was, and Rebecca Lowe, I feel like if you watch soccer, you knew. Thierry Henry and Zlatan in that role, which we weren't as familiar with, them being so great, I thought was really cool. Our guys, I thought Fletch and Hargreaves, I want to see them do non-soccer sports in America. I think they might want to. I think it would be really cool. And I think they were outstanding. And I loved that they got the third place game. I was so happy they got that game. It was so
ton of cross-sport references as well from
I think the U.S. stadium's reputation, all these people coming from across the world are like, my God, this is not Old Trafford, is it? Yeah. They loved it. Also, natural grass being used at stadiums is a huge winner because a lot of
pitch.
And thank you. But the real answer for me, those are all the runners up to. I think the biggest winner was soccer's cultural relevance in America.
Oh, that's mine.
Sorry.
Similar. No, go ahead. Mine's very similar.
I think that you will actually see an uptick in interest in MLS, which, by the way, credit to not a blog spot. What do you call it now? Substack. Blogs. I don't know. I'm an old man. Tactics Free Zone, which ran the numbers of players in this World Cup and the leagues they played in. Mm-hmm. And the MLS, whether it was players, minutes, any goals, any stat imaginable, was the number one league outside of the Big Five.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, like, there's the Big Five in Europe.
Which is France, Italy, England, Spain,
Germany. That Big Five. But then there's another 30 leagues.
Sure.
And MLS, was across the board the biggest of the non-Big Five, which I think is
Can I ask you a quick question just to make sure my timeline is right?
Sure.
MLS starts post-94 World Cup here, right?
It does.
So that was kind of a pretty big
All those other leagues have quite a long head start.
Yeah.
So I think there will be an uptick in interest in that, not just because of Messi, but because people, I think, learned more and enjoyed it. I think there will be an uptick in interest in Champions League, in the Euros tournament, which is coming up, because we talked about, this guy did this in Champions League, this guy did this in the Euros, and so I think people realizing that there is such a thing as a wildly riveting 1-0 game has been so important for the sport, and the personalities, whether it's Mbappé or Haaland or whomever, I think that really did help soccer in America, so I think that's the biggest winner, Dex.
Yeah, I'll be quicker. I think Kevin Wild's massive winner, not because he chose France, but because of his trademarked expression, defense wins championships. That absolutely is the winner. And for Spain, and just generally speaking, we all get excited in our sport about goals, about exciting attacking talents, we get enamored with France and their three amazing world-class midfielders and strikers, and then Argentina being able to rescue games at the depth with amazing goals and drama. And yet, who wins the World Cup? A Spanish team that has the best defense in the entire competition, the best defense of all time, and another winner, Spanish soccer gods and nostalgia. I hope we can pull it up. But as I watched this game, and after Ferran Torres scored, I got so many flashbacks to the 2010 World Cup final where Spain won against a Netherlands team who, by the way, was unbelievably physical. This wasn't a red card somehow. Nigel de Jong kicking Xabi Alonso straight in the chest, all right? And I got so many and now that didn't result in a red card, but the Netherlands did get a red card late in that game that actually helped Spain go on and win the World Cup and score the game-winning goal with a couple minutes left in extra time. I got so many flashbacks of the Spanish triumph. And so the Spanish soccer gods were like, you know what? We are playing in the World Cup final against two teams that want to kick us, that want to bring the game into chaos, that they don't even want to try to play soccer on the same field as us. And yet, Spain triumphs yet again to win their second World Cup. And the numbers are staggering. In this game, in the 2010 final, the Netherlands, I think they set a record for most yellow cards handed out in a World Cup final. It was absurd. It was
plus
like
that kick to the
13
chest.
or 14. Plus the kick to the chest. Wasn't a red card, by the way. So anyways, the similarities as I was watching this final made me think about that 2010 final and the fact that good soccer triumphed over cynical soccer. Yeah. That is, for me, a big takeaway.
I agree with Nick that, I mean, culturally, I think this was great for American soccer. Like, I do think overall that's the big win. I think a ton of people who didn't know a lot about soccer or weren't really into it will now be looking at soccer. And even more kids, we already have a ton of kids playing, but more kids playing that never thought about playing.
My 21-year-old daughter, who never played any sports, never any soccer, watched every game of it. Like her and her friends were like, making their plans around watching. Yeah. They were one of the weird people that were calling it the FIFA. I don't know why young people were calling it the FIFA, but regardless, their whole last month was about watching the FIFA.
That's what young people were doing?
They just called it the FIFA.
Yes,
that's what I was doing too.
Shut up, Kate. You go ahead, Bruce. Sorry.
But I went with a player. I went with Rodri.
Oh.
I mean, because he obviously won the Golden Ball. But the face of this, or the image of this Spain team, is their possession.
Yep.
They were the great defense, but I think the possession is what we all
and
picture.
it's what led to the
they
defense.
dominated, right? And he's the face of that, with his passing and all of that. And winning the World Cup and the Golden Ball, he is the only player ever to win all 5 of these. Now, the first 4 are team championships, and then the Ballon d'Or is the best player. So, and remember, he had that when he tore his ACL
18 months ago.
Yeah, so to come back from all that, he doesn't score, so
that's remarkable.
People don't think of him like that, but this is great for him, to win all.
Defensive midfielder.
To add to your argument for Rodri, this, I believe, catapults him into the conversation as one of the best, not just one of the best defensive midfielders of all time, but the best defensive midfielder of all time. Nice. I'm not prepared to make that argument yet. I would like to.
Arguable.
Arguably, this puts him firmly in the top 2 or 3 conversation.
What were you going to say, KW?
Mine's big. Mine's like a podcast topic.
Do you want to hear it? Come on, give us an extra 90 seconds for KW.
Third place, Vizinha and Cape Verde.
Great.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Silver medalist, Lamine Yamal's brother.
No question.
Gold medalist. The world. Very Norm Macdonald. The world is the goal. The world is made up of everyday people. Not necessarily politicians, not necessarily huge superstars, just everyday people getting together, watching a game, and you see, even after this game, Argentine fans and Spanish fans celebrating together, fireworks going off. So you saw the real, this is the podcast topic, the real promise of like a World Cup actually happened. The guys in Atlanta driving around like, oh, United States, great. That was not what I was reading about in the newspapers. Turns out everything's fantastic. And different people coming together. Yeah. The soccer was great, and all of the peripheral stuff was great, too. Shout out to the world. Huge wins. We can make it, guys. We can do it.
Shout out to the
Tartan
world.
Army.
Beer drinking.
It also.
And rowing.
Honorable mention, the rowing.
Rowing needs to
Did you see they were doing it in Madrid?
Absolutely.
Historically inaccurate.
In Madrid?
And for Norway, they had sails.
Well, welcome back to the show. Rodri wins the Golden Ball while anchoring the Spanish squad. Messi was electric, but goes home trophyless. Nick, do you think Messi deserved the Golden Ball?
1,000%. And listen, I think what Rodri did and what that Spain defense did, and he's the kind of epicenter, even though he's not a defender, of what they are, because so much of their defense was simply, you don't have the ball.
Right.
Correct.
You know what I mean? And so it was like a possession offense in the NFL, and where the running back gets a lot of credit for the defensive stats, because they don't have the ball. And Rodri, you know, Josh talked a lot about him before the tournament. We probably under-talked him in the weeks leading up to the last few rounds. But his career, with or without the Golden Ball, he's one of the most decorated players now ever. Dax talked about how hard it is to win the Ballon d'Or as a defensive midfielder to begin with. He had already done it. So it's no disrespect to him. But Leo Messi carried a team to the final and dominated this tournament statistically. Dominated it. Like, here's Messi's numbers in the tournament with ranks. I mean, he's first. He would have ended up, without the third place game counting, he'd be first in everything there.
See, that's what, I mean, that goes back to our previous conversation.
Right, about the third place game. But again, it's not like Mbappé won the Golden Ball, you know, because the third place game. And so there is we can argue, for hours about whether or not in American sports a losing player should be able to win finals MVP. Brew is correct in that the history of that award says no. The first one ever was on a losing player, and then 60 in a row, or however many it's been. 57 in a row have been someone on a winning team. So they're saying you can't. This is not the finals MVP, because it's not just the championship round. It's the whole tournament.
Right.
The NBA doesn't have the I think, Brew, and I think you'd agree with me. If the NBA gave a playoff MVP, it would not. I think you would probably always have to play in the finals, but I don't know that you'd always have to win the championship. Maybe you would, maybe not. I just thought Messi was not just the story of the tournament, but so clearly the most impactful player in the tournament. And I don't look at him as a guy, when you said about Rodri, there were 7 or 8 guys on Spain who could have been 100%. The lead character. There was no one else on Argentina who could have been the lead character. Correct. I thought he clearly deserved it. And I will admit, I found out this morning on the call he didn't win it. Yeah. I didn't check. I went to the game, went home. I didn't stay to watch the. I just assumed he won it. I couldn't believe it. So I think he deserved it.
Yeah, I might contradict myself here a little bit, because I firmly believe that the best player in any tournament, or the Golden Ball, it should come from the winning team. Like, I've always felt that way, but because of how things have gone in the past, specifically just with regard to the Golden Ball and the World Cup, we know that there is a precedent there for the Golden Ball and the player of the tournament to not come from the winning team. Like, that is the precedent. So I absolutely think Messi deserved to win it. And I am going to lead the agenda driving for defensive midfielders getting more recognition. So I thought Rodri, if you were going to choose a player from Spain, was fully deserving. And I love that, because he was on the team that won the tournament. And he was on the team that set all the records defensively for excellence in passing and possession. So I think it's fully deserved. But if you're going to talk about the total picture and the comprehensive nature of what 39-year-old Lionel Messi just did in this World Cup, when 10 months ago he said, I don't even know if I'm going to play in this tournament, is jaw-dropping. And I absolutely think he deserved to win the Golden Ball, probably more so than he did whenever he won it back, I think it was 2018.
No, it was 2014. 2014 when they lost 1-0 in the final.
And so his performance in this World Cup is more comprehensive than that. But again, I think Messi was the best player in this tournament, without question. I think Rodri is absolutely deserving of winning the Golden Ball, and that should come from the winning team. So there you go. There's a contradiction right there.
I think in 2014 when he won it, I think he scored 1 goal that tournament. He led the tournament in assists and was clearly like the driving force behind Argentina getting to the final. But he won the Golden Ball scoring. Josh, you can check me on this, but one goal in that whole World Cup.
I said last week going into this game, I thought he had it wrapped up.
Yeah. So did the betting
and I
markets.
thought he should have won it, but I've changed my mind. I think Rodri deserved it because I think there were two main things we'll think about when we think about. I mean, there's a lot. France was great, Mbappé, all that, but it was Messi and Argentina's offense and Spain's defense.
Yeah.
And Rodri was the face of that with the possession. That's the story. They were the best defense ever in World Cup history statistically, whether you want to argue the 94 Brazil, whatever. They statistically are the best with an extra game. And he was kind of the driving force of that. And then when they met, Messi wasn't even a factor. And Rodri dominated the game. And I do think, I don't know how much this played into it, but Messi being such a non-factor in the championship game. I heard a commentator say in the first half, at least, I don't know what it was for the game, in the first half, 21 of the 22 players on the field had more touches than Messi.
Oh, yeah.
So he was just not
He was on the periphery of the game.
Yeah. And so I just think that would not have been the greatest look. I'm not saying I would have raised Kane or anything, but, that wouldn't have been the greatest look.
Getting the award right there, it's super weird.
Yeah, when you just were non-existent in this game. So I'm fine with Rodri.
But it's a tournament award, though.
Yeah, can I?
No, I do get that. Yeah, and he was fantastic.
It felt to me like he had such a lead going into it that it should have taken a Belgium against the U.S. style embarrassing route to cost him the award.
Like not having a shot on goal?
No, but I disagree. KW, you and I just view it differently. Like, I think you can dislike that being the game plan, but I think that there have been World Cups won by a team saying, we are going to strangle the life out of this game and have one chance, and if not, we're going to try to beat you in penalties. It's a viable, legitimate strategy.
But how do you want them to show their dominance? How would you want Rodri to show his dominance in the final?
Well, that's my point. My point is, I think Messi had such a huge lead in this that it would have taken a game that he was never going to be able to have. Like that they weren't
don't
going
you think
to be able to,
we weren't considering Rodri because of the position he plays and all that? You know what I mean?
No,
he wasn't even really
I also wasn't
mind,
considering.
But maybe the judges were.
I wasn't really considering anybody else because it was Leo Messi that led. A team was down 2-0 in the 78th minute. He scored the goal to tie it on an insane goal. A game after he had scored one of the most insane goals I've ever seen, where is a 50-yard pass. He stops it on a dime at his foot and just tips it in. Then the next game, once his team was down 1-0, he just played the most perfect 40 minutes you'll ever see a guy play, basically out of position, created 2 more goals. I just thought it was such a massive lead that what was admittedly, very uninvolved, first 98 minutes of this game shouldn't have cost him the award.
Messi had so many different moments where it was like the jaw-dropping, spectacular wow moments. For people who don't maybe tune into the World Cup or soccer every now and then, you're like, he is so clearly the best player of all time and the best player on the field that how can anyone compete with this? While Rodri is just the key cog in the machine that just keeps going time after time after time. And so it takes a more, I think, nuanced eye to see the brilliance that is Rodri.
And Messi, by the way, in 2014, it was 0 goals in the knockout stage when he won the Golden Ball. He had 4 in the group stage, but 0 in the knockout
And he only had 2 in the knockout stage this turn.
Can Spain go back-to-back? That is next on First Things First. And our goodbye montage to Dax.
Oh, man.
Man, I'm going to get sad about that.
I'm going to miss you, Dax.
Lionel Scaloni.
You gotta Saturday Night Baseball on Fox. Ohtani is back taking on Juan Soto and the Mets. No, shutting him down temporarily. Might be permanent.
He might go on a tear from the plate.
Oh, that'd be good. Saturday, I don't like knee injuries for him, though. Saturday 7, only on Fox. Yamal thinking about going back-to-back already. Spain has touched down in Madrid, and the parade is on. They've opened as favorites to win the 2030 World Cup, which will be in Morocco, Portugal, and Spain. The faves are Spain, France, England, Portugal. Three-way tie, Germany, Brazil, and Argentina. Nick, are you buying stock in a Spanish repeat?
Obviously, they can. I understand why they're the favorites. Right now, I think my money would be on Portugal.
Really?
I thought you were going to say Brazil.
I thought you
was
were.
I was about to have a
abandon Brazil. I'm the Brazil guy. I'm the Brazil guy.
If you would allow, the reason I said right now, 4 years from now, I have a feeling La Macarena will get me once again. But so there is, to me, a potential symbolism of them winning post-Ronaldo that would be very, very interesting. Their midfield, they've got three of their best players. You could argue their three best players, Vitinha, Neves, and Mendes, all play together on PSG. They're also, we talking about this Spain team, guys being young. Bruno Fernandes and Bernardo Silva are, guys that are old enough that you don't know if they'll be around for the next World Cup. Obviously, Ronaldo won't be. Everyone else on that team is, either in their prime or entering their prime. And they, like you said, they're one of the host nations. Now, the World Cup in 4 years, there's also a game in Argentina, Brazil, and Uruguay. So there's the three South American nations that have won it are getting to host a game because it's the 100-year anniversary. And then three, Morocco, Portugal, and Spain are the main hosts. But I think Portugal could have won this one had they done a little different managerially along with Ronaldo. And so I think Portugal's a real threat, very, far out.
I'm buying as much Spain stock as I can possibly buy to repeat. They were absolutely brilliant, dominant in this tournament. They did this without Lamine Yamal, even close to his best, and he is only going to get better. And that brings me to the final point of, other than Rodri, who is an incredibly important part of this team, every single one of their most important players will be in their prime or not even entering into their prime at the 2030 World Cup. Kubarsi, Lamine Yamal will be 23 years old. Pedri is going to be 27. Gavi, 25. All of these wonderful players. They've already got
4 years is wild.
They've also got built-in replacements for Aymeric Laporte, who will be 36, probably won't be a center back. Dean Huijsen, who's part of Real Madrid's backline, will be 25 at the time, highly rated center back. Marc Bernal will be 23. He's really highly rated defensive midfielder to possibly come in and spell Rodri at times. This team, especially with the way that they're coached, the cultural significance of how they're developing players right now, and just the DNA of winning, they should absolutely be the heavy favorite to repeat.
But Brew, what's it hard to do?
It's hard to repeat.
Hard to go back-to-back in this tournament.
It's hard.
Yeah.
We've seen years. That's why, I agree with you, and I wrote down that same ages of these guys. And Nico Williams will be 28. Yep. The goalkeeper who just won the Golden Glove. He'll be 33, which
that's young.
That's
for
right prime.
For goalies.
So there 40. You go. But it being so, I wonder where Mbappé will be 31, because I think France is probably going. Again, it's 4 years from now, but they're going to come out with a vengeance. Yep. You know what I mean? And all those frontline guys should still be there. I would imagine Mbappé will still be great at 31.
Of course.
And so France, just because of the tough to repeat, I kind of lean France right now. But Spain, they should be. They could be even better than this.
The pipeline is interesting. France had, I think, 100 players were born in France who played for dual nationalities. So France has a ton of people they can pull from, obviously. And then Spanish coach I think he was the U17 coach, and then was U19 coach, is now the coach. So, the pipeline of Barcelona, and obviously Messi was Argentine, but that pipeline of talent, what Yamal got there when he was 7, I think. So he was in the tub very early. All right, we're saying goodbye to the World Cup and to Dax. Both have ended and both have had some great moments. Here's a look back at some of the best moments of the World Cup.
Due able to find Mbappé through traffic. Kylian Mbappé!
Haaland, he wants another one. He's got another one. How about that? Extraordinary. Just phenomenal.
Takes on Guyana, the crosser is free, header 1-0! England lead! Jude Bellingham in the Azteca!
Olmo, the return, Pedro Porro! Lopez Cabral! It's incredible! It's remarkable! It's almost unbelievable! It's Cape Verde! Messi resets, Messi driving in, Messi crossing back, oh, there it is! Lautaro Martinez! Spain, for the second time in their history, have won the World Cup!
Wow.
That was great.
Just some great moments from everybody.
Brew really loved that.
Well, you did great.
Thank you
Excellent
guys,
work, man. We gonna miss you for real.
No, you guys made it easy. It was, quite honest, I've been doing this for 18 months now since I retired in 2024. And honestly, I love my crew I work with at Apple TV and MLS. They're amazing. It feels like a family. You guys welcomed me in. You made me feel comfortable. Everyone behind the scenes, fantastic. And I really appreciate you guys. So I actually, if you don't mind, I got some awards here.
Wow.
Golden Boot for Wild.
So I was given... from Danny Parkins, by the way. Thank you, Danny.
Oh, yeah.
The best analyst, soccer analyst on First Things First. Yeah. I am changing that, and I am passing that on to Brew as the foremost First Things First soccer expert.
You did call Spain the whole entire time.
Danny picked Spain as well. So this is your trophy.
Thank you,
I don't know if I'm going to be able to pass
much
it to you.
appreciated.
Excellent job.
I know KW does a lot of heavy lifting here. So he has the biggest trophy.
Wow.
KW is the foremost First Things First high school soccer career.
Let's go.
Yeah.
That is
Kevin
true.
Wilds.
I think we're sub 500, but that makes it all.
That's for you. But your career, your individual career.
Thank
And
you.
then,
Man.
last but certainly not least,
How big is mine going?
my favorite trophy that was broken and had to be super glued back together. Oh. This little guy right
that's a
here.
nice one.
It is Nick Wright, the foremost First Things First bucket hat jinxer.
That's nice.
That's Nick
I'll
Wright.
keep that. I will keep
excellent
this
trophy. I love it.
with
Don't break
honor
it.
in my office. I won't break it.
Super glued right there.
And I know we're short on time, but if I may say something sincerely on behalf of the show, we have been doing the show a long time, and it's the three of us plus Coach Mangini and Greg Jennings. The Danny obviously with the overtime, but those are the people that have been like really part of the family, and that's the extent of it as far as like long-time guys.
Yep.
Having anyone new come in is hard. You really became an immediate part of the family and made our World Cup coverage what it was. And so I do hope when we do stuff like this in the future that we can hit you up, and you've been great, man. We really appreciate it.
You fit in perfectly.
Thank you, guys.
With the vibe and
you're
everything.
Great. We're doing a slow zoom in.
Wait, hold on. Hey, you're still taking me to Monaco.
What? Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't forget.
Well done. I would say one word. Quality!
Yes! Hey, do me a favor. Squeaky bum time. Give it to me.
No, that's going to go 2030, I promise.
Okay.
2030, Fox will have the World Cup, hopefully. We got to get working on that.
Yeah.
2030.
It'll be here sooner than you think.
It's going to be costly.
Evening. Buyer's remorse. Buy a new car? I'll be moving in. Let's get started.
Sorry, I think there's been a mistake. I bought it from Carvana.
You what?
Yeah, great price. I even have 7 days to love it or return it.
So there's no...
No buyer's remorse. More like buyer's rejoice.
I guess I'll let myself out. Congratulations. I mean it.
Buyer's rejoice. Buy your car today on Carvana.
Limitations and exclusions may apply. See our 7-day return policy at Carvana.com.